Sunflower Showdown late models down to turn number 1. Justin Asplin's going to take the advantage. Brian Allison will look to roll to the inside. Brantley Gottschall up to his outside. Exiting turn number 2, Asplin leads. Gottschall runs in second. Down at 3 and 4. Asplin right up on the cushion. Gottschall a lane or so lower. Allison runs in the 3rd spot. Jesse Stovall runs 4th. Jason O'Brien 5th. A little bit of debris in turn number 2. So a caution will wave. Yellow is out, turn 2. Get restarted as they head down into turn 3.
All right, let's keep an eye on him here. Once again, Justin Asplin's race to start. Off of corner number 4, we're looking for the green flag. We have it back underway here tonight at Lakeside during the Sunflower Showdown. Trenton Berry.
Asplin will lead him down into turn 1 and 2, nearly 3 wide. They'll go 3 wide for a minute. Allison, Stovall, roll to the inside of Brantley Gottschall. Stovall around Allison now, so Stovall from 4th up into the 2nd spot, right up on the cushion in turn 3 and 4. Justin Asplin rolls around. He will lead the lap.
Trenton, we have Gottschall up in the wall here in between turns 3 and 4, and that fence bid a lot of drivers here last night, already tonight, claiming Brantley Gottschall early on in the first heat.
Boy, it did, and then the top of the racetrack in both turns last night got pretty dicey. Even the factory stocks Grand Nationals, there was a slew of accidents here. Kind of a strange night at the races, so I hope we can get a lot smoother night in for the event here this evening.
And while we got a little bit of break here, we talked about it a little bit on tonight's pre-race show for those listening on racingdirt.com, racingdirt.tv. But on our way in this evening, we were able to see Darren the Bear Christie, and he's out there. He's ready. He's down here watching the races tonight. But that was one of the best sights of the weekend for me, seeing just Darren walking toward the truck to talk to me. He was looking good. He was just a little bit down on himself, but so glad that he is okay and here watching
down
with us
turn
tonight.
3. It'll be Asplin's race to get restarted once again. He'll have a fender full of Jesse Stovall as they get set to go green. Sean Jett will throw the green flag. Here we go. Showtime once again at Lakeside. Asplin, Stovall, Allison, your top 3 cars. Stovall now looks to the low side. Exiting turn 2 is still Asplin's race, but he's got him by 2, now maybe 3 car lengths. Down the back chute into 3 and 4.
Little bit of contact there between Bill Layton and Ryan Gustin. Ryan Gustin's able to keep it right, and we'll keep an eye on him as he currently runs back here in the 5th position with just a couple laps in.
Back up front to the Asplin-Stovall race. There's some distance between them. The best race now for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Ryan Gustin looks to the high side of the 1A of Allison as the leaders exit turn 4.
How many times have we seen the Reaper up on the high side? And once again here tonight at Lakeside Speedway for the Sunflower Showdown, the Reaper's using up that high side, especially down in 3 and 4, as Justin Asplin is comfortably out front in this one, Trenton, keeping Stovall well behind him.
Asplin driving a rocket by Fry Hatfield Power underneath the hood. Asplin, a driver, interesting story that's brought him to Super Dirt late model racing. One that'll be probably profiled in more detail coming up here in the next few months.
So Justin Asplin trying to keep Stovall behind him here. Trenton, looks like Stovall might be gaining some ground. You see the Stovall entry down here in corner number 1, dives it way down low, and he sticks it down there every time.
And good race there for 3rd and 4th as well. Layton to the outside of the 24, Ryan Gustin there. So action heating up for 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th as well. Gustin's going to roll it into the low side of turn 3 and 4. He'll think better of the slide job. Not able to clear Layton. Now he's lost several car lengths, so Ryan Gustin, that attempted slide job hurt him right there quite a bit as he lost quite a bit of ground to the 24 of Layton. Back up front, Asplin and Stovall continue to roll 1st and 2nd.
Gustin lost a lot of momentum on that move. He's got just a couple more laps here to try to make it up. Now Stovall with problems here down the front straightaway. Trenton Berry, as we see Stovall take the 0-0 into the infield. So tough break for Jesse Stovall. Looks like we'll keep going here as Justin Asplin now with a full straightaway lead on the 24 machine of Bill Layton.
So the B&A Pilot Rocket will look up, see the white flag. 0.4 of a mile left to go.
Now Ryan Gustin, Trenton Berry, as we get deeper and deeper with this one, the white flag flying. Gustin has pulled down here to the low side of the turn as well as the white flag flies. Trenton, bring him home.
Hospital rock and roll right up on the top side through turns 3 and 4. Tonight's Lucas Oil Products heat number 1 goes to the 77A of Justin Asplin. Attrition sets in. 2nd place to 24 of Bill Layton. And it looks like out of St. Charles, Missouri, working off turn 4, the 17 of Tim Sherrick. We'll finish up 3rd, Allison 4th, and Jason O'Brien 5th. Good, strong run to start out the late model weekend for the 77A of Birch Tree, Missouri's Justin Asplin as he wins Lucas Oil Products heat number 1. Wow, what a tough break. I would not have expected either Stovall or Gustin to not finish that one.
And both of them had strong runs going in this particular first heat race. Hopefully those guys can make repairs. I'm sure the crews are already getting things prepared for those drivers to get back to the pit area so they can get busy out there. And before we roll into heat race number 2. So again, tough break for Ryan Gustin and Josie Stovall, who suffered mechanical problems here at the end of the first heat.
A couple of big dogs up front.
And Looney in that new Capital race car. We're going to look for the green flag here momentarily. Watch your cars, watch your flagmen as we watch for the green. Here we have it. We're back underway. Heat race number 2 coming at you with the Lucas Oil MLRA late models.
Will Vaught, a great start in that heat race. He's able to jump up to third now. Going to dig for a second with the 32 of Chris Simpson. Looney out front all alone, so it's Looney, Simpson. Then it's back to Vaught in the third spot. Phillips now fourth. Jackson back in fifth. So Vaught with a great start right there, but Looney is your leader down to 1 and 2.
And Trenton Berry, Will Vaught has to absolutely keep Tony Jackson Jr. behind him and well behind him through the entire race weekend if he's going to have any chance of taking that title.
Championship points on the line for the heat races this year as well. 10 points to win it and a 2-point break down your top 5 spots all the way. So it's a 10-8-6-4-2 split there for your front runners in the heat races. So they put a little more importance on them this season. And, I think it was another great move by the series. Best race right now for 4th and 5th between Phillips and Jackson as Looney leads off 4.
It's almost as if we have 2 different classes of cars out here tonight. We see a 5-car breakaway right here, and then the 5 cars back here battling out. Nonetheless, still those guys are duking it out for position. But look at Brad Looney. It did not take him very long at all to get settled into that new Capital race car.
And the best action we're seeing on the racetrack right now, the 75 and the 56. Phillips right up on the cushion. Last night's high point car for the USRA. USMTS Modifieds, one of the best racetracks we talked about a minute ago that he races anywhere in the country, and he's being chased by Tony Jackson Jr. Jackson in the 56. That is the newer of his 2 Club 29 rocket cars. He told us earlier, and we'll, for the people watching at home tonight, you'll be able to see this interview most likely a little bit later. He talked about that he chose that car simply because it had fewer nights, so the likelihood of parts failure was much less in that one as opposed to his other car. As Looney continues to set the pace out front, right up on the top side through 3 and 4. Boy, the late models have been top side dominant here so far as they continue to click off the laps here in the second heat.
And Trenton Berry, I'm keeping an eye on Will Vaught here. He's not getting off of 4 very good, and that's allowed Terry Phillips to close in on him. And you can see him drift up here over off the exit of corner number 2 as well, just not getting the bite down to the track. Will Vaught is in jeopardy of losing that 3rd spot here to Terry Phillips as we continue to wind down the laps in heat race number 2.
Last lap for Brad Looney, a 19.155, a 19.1 for Looney. Then it's back 3/10. So Chris Simpson, 2.5 tenths off the pace of Brad Looney. He'll have to do some digging in a hurry if he hopes to catch the 14 of Looney. 8 laps in. 8 laps in for the 14 of Looney, down to 1 and 2. Simpson's there, Vaught and Phillips, your front 4. Now kind of a 4-car breakaway with Tony Jackson falling back into 5th.
And this will be the white flag coming around this time around for Brad Looney, Chris Simpson, Will Vaught, Terry Phillips, your top 4 with Tony Jackson Jr. drifting back just a little bit. 1 to go here tonight for heat race number 2. Brad Looney, your leader, coming in to corner number 2.
Boy, it could be kind of an interesting situation. Could you crown a point champion tonight? He has to come through a B main. We crowned Anderson here one year, and he broke about a lap into the feature.
That is a possibility. And off of corner number 4 in the Capital race car, number 14, it will be Brad Looney taking the win, followed to the line by Chris Simpson, Will Vaught, Terry Phillips, and Tony Jackson Jr. Then we wait a little bit as a good battle here to the line between Kyle Burke, a former winner here at Lakeside Speedway. Kyle Burke will bring it home in 6th, followed by Mark Fluffy Dotson in 7th, Al Humphrey back here in 8th. So as we wrap up heat race number 2 here tonight at Lakeside Speedway for the Sunflower Showdown.
Kind of hard to see with the naked eye, but taking a look at the electronic timing and scoring, racetrack slowing down an easy 2 to 3 tenths over the course of that heat race for all the competitors, and that's a pretty even split across the board. But congratulations, Brad Looney, for taking the victory there in heat race number 2. Boy, it is. For the hardcore late model fans, Eric Turner's the driver you've seen here race for the past several seasons. That rocket car, he started the year in a Moyer Victory Circle. That was a rocket the team had in their stable. And that was a car basically rebuilt by Tony Jackson Jr. essentially after he had a big crash back at the Topless 100 in Batesville, Arkansas at the end of August. So we'll see how the car fares tonight here at Lakeside Speedway. Looks good as he rolls off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Chase Youngins leads lap 1.
Jason Bodenhammer put on a maneuver there on Reed Millard to get up there and battle with Eric Turner to try to get up there for that third spot. Here comes Chad Simpson now through the field. Chad battling Reed Millard now for the fourth position as pole sitter Reed Millard has slipped back to the fifth spot.
Good race right here for second and third. The 33 exit turn of the 2B of Jason Bodenhammer down to 3 and 4. Turner up a groove or so higher. Now Bodenhammer will follow his tire tracks as they exit turn 4. Youngins trying to win. He'll have to overtake Travis Dickus to do so, but the Sunoco Race Fuels Rookie of the Year Championship, that'll be interesting to watch that as well. That was a very close spread as well. I believe just 38 points coming into this weekend.
So Chase Youngins looking good here tonight, leading this one. Eric Turner doing everything he can to try to reel him in. Jason Bodenhammer solidly back there in third. He may have his hands full here in a couple laps, so as a couple of heavy hitters just behind him and Chad Simpson and former champion here, John Anderson in the 2 Shop Quick machine.
Keep our eyes there on the Simpson and Anderson race. Down at 3 and 4. Simpson right up on the high side, Anderson low, and we touched on Anderson making his last run for Shop Quick Racing, so kind of a sad deal, honestly. I'd love to see John Anderson go out with a good, strong run. And there's also a pretty tight points battle, 4th, 5th, and 6th between Brad Looney, Jesse Stovall, and John Anderson, and those 3 spots could easily change and change a couple of different times throughout this weekend.
In Trenton, and again, another 5-car breakaway, but an intense battle back here with the guys battling it out for the 6th spot. We're talking about Matt Furman back there as well as Matt Johnson duking it out. Tommy Weeder Jr. involved in that. Your current Rookie of the Year leader, Travis Dickus, also trying to jockey around for positions late in the race.
Furman will look to the inside right there. You touched on the 0-2 of Weeder. Weeder will take the spot as they roll out down the back chute into 3 and 4. Up front a little bit further, the 5 of Johnson, the 21 of Dickus. As Chase Youngins has put this one on cruise control down the back chute, right on the low side of 3 and 4. Youngins in the Masters built, J. Dickens powered Shop Quick Convenience Stores, number 18, the future there for Shop Quick Racing. And he's doing a really good job in the 3rd and final heat race tonight.
And just as we predicted, looks like we're going to go into yellow flag, but what I was going to say there, Trenton, just as we predicted, Chad Simpson and John Anderson had caught up to Jason Bodenhammer, but now it's going to be an all-new race. Furman, with problems here on the back straightaway, has put us under a caution.
Matt Furman out of Columbus, Ohio, by way of Iowa City, Iowa. Kind of an interesting story. Met his longtime girlfriend, and she moved to Columbus, Ohio, so he followed her, but he's originally from Iowa City, Iowa. Comes back to this area. We typically see him at Corning, Iowa, and I-80 Speedway, at least a time or two a season, and he typically tries to make this race here at Lakeside Speedway. One of the really nice guys in the pit area.
Speedway at the end of the year. Once again, the green flag flies. Just a couple laps to go now. Will it be an all-new race? Can somebody get by race-long leader Chase Youngins? We'll see here momentarily.
Turner now, good run on the restart. He'll give Youngins a look down the back chute. Youngins will open up a car length advantage down to 3 and 4. Youngins enters low. He'll exit up a couple of grooves higher. Turner runs second. Bodenhammer third. Good race there. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Bodenhammer, Anderson, Chad Simpson. Whoa, a little bit of trouble. Anderson will run Chad Simpson up into the wall. Simpson will make contact. Those two have a history. Oh, it's been some time. They had a run-in at the Springfield Raceway about a season ago in a battle for the lead. And I promise you there is no love lost between those two competitors. I really don't think there was much intentional on that one.
It looked like to me Bodenhammer dove down to the low side and Anderson wanted to follow him down there with him, just didn't grip it like Bodie did and got right up in there into Simpson. So tough break here late in the race just as a white flag was set to fly.
So about slower than he liked, but coming around right now and likes the feel of his race car. Green's back out.
Trenton, we're going to finish this one up with a green-white checkered flag finish. Now Eric Turner dubbing up there, trying to challenge race-long leader Chase Youngins there. Bodenhammer slips just a little bit. That's going to allow 2 drivers to get by him. Here comes John Anderson. Trenton, we're coming to the white flag.
So roll the white flag. Youngins, Turner, Anderson. Boy, good strong run for John Anderson. Working through the field a little bit. White's out, 4/10 of a mile left to go. Turner leave the door open on the low side. Anderson's right there. Now, no. So Anderson will slide back to 3rd. Youngins leads through 3 and 4. Turner and Anderson still 2nd and 3rd off 4. Manhattan, Kansas. Chase Youngins will take the checkered flag. Eric Turner runs at the 2nd spot. John Anderson in the number 2 finishes up 3rd. Jason Bodenhammer and Matt Johnson round out your top 5. Boy, Chase Youngins had to hold off some heat behind him. Nice strong run for Chase Youngins there in the car number 18.
With Trenton Berry, that was a blistering pace put on tonight here by the Lucas Oil MLRA late models. We have 3 heat races.
And the McCarthy Auto Group pace truck pulls back into the infield. Lights shut off around the speedway. Just about set to roll. Yeah. Rolling off turn number 4, greens out. Here we go, the 12-lap B main event. 3 wide, down to turn 1 and 2. Contact. Mark Dotson, Jason O'Brien, and the 21 of Travis Dickus. Corey Zeitner, Reed Millard, Matt Furman all involved in that. What an accident right there, and 38 points. Not that any of the 2 competitors need to be reminded of this. 38 points separate Chase Youngins, who won his heat race, and Travis Dickus, who was just involved in that accident. Luckily for Dickus, he's 38 to the good. What an accident right there. So series race director Ernie Leftwich will throw out the red flag on the front straightaway as he'll temporarily stop the cars. The Baker Recovery and tow truck over to turn 2 to tend to a couple of cars. So one more time under yellow flag conditions here before we get set to go. So we are going green this time. Apologize for that. Green is out here for Hoosier Tire B main here this evening. O'Brien continues to set the pace. Dickus gets a good run to the outside. Ryan Gustin to the low side. Gustin will look to the inside of the 21 of Dickus. Now the 15 of O'Brien. Exiting turn 4. Going to be a race, a drag race down the front chute. Too close to call at the line that time. O'Brien and Gustin go side by side. Gustin the preferred line. He'll dig in deep on the low side of turn number 2. New leader. Rolling down the midpoint of the back chute, the 19 of Ryan Gustin out front. So we got a pair of Iowa drivers running first and second. Back to third, it's the 0 of Stovall. And fourth is Dickus in the 21T. Stovall now, good look to the low side. Boy, a lot of traction down there, low in turns 1 and 2. So for O'Brien there, the restart took him from first back to third. Gustin and Stovall run 1 and 2. Exiting turn 4, single file there up front. Looks like a mud plug rolling there to the infield out of the race groove. Gustin, Stovall, O'Brien, Dickus, Weeder, Humphrey, Zeitner, Furman, and Bishop, your cars on the speedway. We'll see if Stovall's able to close the gap. Jesse Stovall for having a, by his standards, somewhat disappointing season. Really picked it up here in the month of September. Hoping to carry that momentum over into October and beyond. Smoke rolling out the back of Stovall's 00 as he went down the front straightaway that time. And taking a look, you can see a little bit more right there. Gustin, Stovall 1 and 2. Dickus, O'Brien, Weeder 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Stovall losing ground to Gustin. Oh, this one doesn't look good for the 00. Stovall off the pace on the front chute. Nope, he'll take it around one more. Thought he might take a look to the infield that time. So Gustin in no danger as he holds a straight-away lead over Dickus. Back into third. Maybe Stovall will be able to limp it home. Racing here on lap 11. Gustin right up on the cushion. Driving a rocket chassis. They debuted at Knoxville Raceway for the Knoxville Late Model Nationals last weekend. It was a brand new car from Shinston, West Virginia. Off 2 down the back straightaway. Dickus look to the low side of Stovall. Gustin will take this one by a mile, rolling off turn 4. The Gressel Racing 19R takes the Hoosier Tire B main this evening. Second will go to the 21 of Dickus and Stovall. He finishes up in the 3rd spot. So Ryan Gustin, your race winner.
00, you want to shut that
Guston's best lap, a 19.4 in that heat race. A 19.4 for Ryan Guston as he takes Hoosier Tire B-Main number 1.
Looks like we'll go one more lap, Trenton Berry, before we get this one underway. Looking at the lineup here tonight, kind of a surprise pole setter here this evening with Jim Sherrick.
Yeah, it is, and it was the first time he'd ever been here to Lakeside Speedway. I asked him about it. I said, well, why this weekend? What made you decide? He said, well, everything's not racing around us. So he said, we just want to come try something different. So neat to see that.
I talked to him as well down there, and we were talking a little bit about the split in the state of Missouri that we kind of have here. And of course, we're in Kansas tonight, but the state of Missouri is kind of split in half with two different types of late models, same super late models, but different sanctioning bodies nonetheless.
Sure, yeah, it is, and it's neat to see Sherrick back over here with us and trying to get this race lineup set to go 35 laps of distance. So we'll see how it all shakes down. Sherrick and Aspen on the front row. Youngins and Layton row 2, Anderson, Looney row 3, Turner Simpson row 4, and your 9th and 10th place starters, Will Vaught and Brian Allison. Tony Jackson Jr. probably a little further back than he would have expected him to be. He was in a tough heat race.
Absolutely, and as fast as Justin Asplin was there in his heat race, and he's, of course, going after his first ever super late model victory here, and it could get done very well here tonight on night number 1.
Drivers will follow each other side by side right off turn 4. Here we go. Green's out for the 35-lap A-main event for the Sunflower Showdown here at Lakeside Speedway. 3,000 on the line. Oh, Youngins, Anderson, Chris Simpson, melee over in 1 and 2. Bodenhammer, Turner, Jackson, Dickus among the cars involved. Wow. So what happens when you try to get a race in, Sam? You get 15 cars piled up in turn 1 and 2 on the opening lap.
And Trenton Berry, don't look now, but Tony Jackson Jr. involved in that one back over there. Tough break for your current points leader with Will Vaught coming out of that one clean.
What a tough break right there.
And Chase Youngins and car 18 scheduled for heat number 1 as here we go. Down the back straight they head, side by side. Scotty Boo on the inside. Zach Sanders in the 69 goes back upstairs. Here they come for lap number 1. Trevor Hunt now on the money round, setting fast time in his heat, and he has now climbed up to number 3 spot. Started 6 on the field and looking very strong, as well as that 12B Johnny Bone Jr., who started 4th in car 12B. Up front, it continues to be Scotty Boo in the 11S, Zach Sanders in the 69, like they're welded together as they go down the back straight into turn 3. Trevor Hunt will follow Zach Sanders off of turn 4. We'll see if the momentum will bring them to the line dead even. Again, a Boo hanging right there in that bottom groove. Now comes Trevor Hunt. Is there room on the outside? No, he will follow the fuel cell of the 69. Zach Sanders back to turn 3. Now Sanders opens up the top side. We'll see if Trevor Hunt can take advantage, and yes, he will. Trevor Hunt says goodbye to the 69 of Zach Sanders. Thank you very much. Scotty Boo, hi, how are you? You're not in the fast lane, express lane for that 99H. Trevor Hunt out front now in heat number 1. Again, this is 8 laps of distance at top 4 in passing points. Moving on to the A-main, and a young gun out of Kearney, Missouri. The GRT chassis leading. Here comes Johnny Bone Jr., now the number 2 spot in the 12B. Scotty Boo falling back into 3rd. Vanderbeek now starting to flex a little muscle as the Z-Man started 5th, and he sits in 4th in a Brian Rowland Motorsports LG2 by Owens entry as they come to the white flag. One more time around here for heat race number 1, and it is Trevor Hunt, all 14 years of age, the USMTS Rookie of the Year champion, will come down the boulevard, and right now he's got a clean sweep. Fast time in his heat, a winner of heat number 1. Johnny Bone Jr. will finish up the number 2 spot in our Kenny's Tile Sunflower Showdown heat race action. Heat number 2 is in staging, ready to pull on the speedway from Sedalia, Missouri, in a Par Electric. The Longfellow Foundations. Car number 90 is Terry Schultz out of Bate City, Missouri. As we light them up another time, back underway. Turn 1, Terry Schultz. A lead Shad Batter off of turn 2. Schultz in car number 90. That Hughes chassis, a weekly competitor here at Lakeside Speedway, and he will bring the field off of turn 4 and lead lap number 1. Matt Donson to the number 2 spot, likes that low line. Donson, who started 5th on the grid, rattling up some passing points hit it on as he goes past Batter, tries to put a slider job on. Does that work? Yeah, he'll make it. Donson now to second. We'll see if he can track down car 90-year leader, Terry Schultz. Keeping an eye on this field here this evening. Farther back you see for the number 3, 4, and 5 spot as that 20R car, Brian Rowland, getting up on the wheel. He's now pulled himself into 4th. Batter is 3rd. As again, 2nd place you see Matt Donson in 88D in your leader. Out of Sedalia, Missouri in car number 90, it's Terry Schultz. Heat 2 of 3 here tonight at Lakeside Speedway for the Kenny's Tile Seaberg Muffler final night of qualifying. And it's been all Terry Schultz. From the drop of the green, from the pole position, he has led the way. Again, 8 laps is the distance here in Heat 2. Donson car entering to turn 1, just a little bit of a push as Brian Rowland now has tracked down Shad Batter. And that 73B. And Rowland now looking to the inside. That's a good battle right there on the speedway. And Rowland will now pull up into 3rd. Rowland, who started 3rd on the field, runs in 3rd. And look at this battle for the lead. They're coming to the white flag this time, race fans. Schultz upstairs, Donson on the bottom. Drag race to the line. And by a front bumper, you've got Schultz, your leader, but Donson is going to dispose of him right here, right now, off of turn 2. Look at the drive, just pulls up enough to hold up the momentum of car number 90. Now he'll put the slide move on and come to the line off of turn 4. Matt Donson, your winner of a very entertaining heat race number 2. Terry Schultz will finish 2nd, and Brian Rowland rounding out the top 3. 2 down, 1 to go here tonight. One more heat race. Down the back chute they head for lap number 1. Tom Tillison Jr. out of Wellston, Oklahoma. That United Cellular car 85 off of turn 4, and he will lead lap number 1. Scott Crystal in 2nd. Tim Carrick now, the 1K car, in 3rd. We'll see as that high line looks to be the quick side right now. But Carrick will stick right with his setup as they come off of turn 4 for lap number 2. Tom Tillison Jr. Some 5 car lengths now over Scott Crystal in 2nd. Good battle for 3rd. Carrick again will put the slide job move on off of turn 4. Diamonds right back though to the inside is Brandon Davis in car 50. Davis now on the move from 6th to 3rd, and he's looking for more here tonight. As you see Lucas Schott in that 66 car. He's now climbed into the top 5 from the back end of the field. He started way back there in the number 9 position in car 66. Tom Tillotson Jr. Scott Crystal in second. Single file as they head back down to turn 3. As this time around, again, we look to see the field blister down the front chute. Tim Carrick still in 4th. Lucas Shanto gaining just a bit that last lap. As back into turn number 3, it continues to be Tillotson on the point. Brandon Davis trying to find a little more mustard as he's now within 2 car lengths of Scott Crystal, your pole sitter in car 5. Just like that, Lucas Schott said, Tim Carrick, see ya, goodbye, sit down, take a seat. Lucas Schott now to 4th as here we go, white flag. Final lap here tonight at Lakeside Speedway for the Kenny Style Seaberg Muffler event into turn 3. Down off of turn 4, Tom Tillotson Jr. out of Wellston, Oklahoma will win heat number 3. Scott Crystal comes home in the number 2 spot. Brandon Davis rounding out the top 3. Well, that takes care of heat race action in all classes here tonight. We'll get ready for our beat features. We do want to remind everyone, if you're looking again for a job, we've got the place to head for you. That's Kenny's Tile and Flooring. Again, give them a call, 816-765-0400. Again, for tile, granite, hardwood, or carpet. Again, Kenny's Tile and Flooring, Seaberg Muffler, as we're ready to go. B feature, number 1, off of turn 4. Tim Carrick brings him to the line, and we're underway. Carrick, middle groove off of turn 2. Down the back straightaway. Here we go now. Charging back into turn 3. Carrick to the high side, and they come for lap number 1. Down the front straight. 3 cars battle here tonight. Kirby Tynes, that zero machine, flexing some muscle, will take 7. So hopefully they all behave themselves here tonight. As the 34A, Aaron Morant, decides to lead a lap, and the Oric, Missouri driver will come off of turn 4, bringing Stein to the 2nd spot, Carrick in 3rd. 4th place right now is at 29 of Dennis Elliott. Jeff Connor out of Panora, car 36, that final transfer spot as we count back to the 7 positions here in B feature number 1, brought to you by Real Race Wheels. The leader continues to be the 34A, Aaron Morant. Kirby Steins in number 2 spot in the 0 car, goes right back down to the bottom. Carrick back and forth, runs a high groove. As that 29 machine, Dennis Elliott out of Mount Ayr, Iowa, runs in 3rd. Carrick, as we said, in 4th. As we are green flag racing again, 10 laps the distance, 10 laps here, and 7 will advance. And right now that is Jeff Connor and that power lift of Jefferson, car number 36. Green flag racing here at Lakeside Speedway. And it's all Aaron Morant in car 34A. Brian Green, car 40, keeping right with the pace here tonight. Just nice and easy, saving the car. He knows there's a big picture. As they continue to run green flag laps, Morant again hits the flag stand, showing the way to Kirby Steins in 2nd. Luke Driscoll, who started 5th on the field, continues his run as he sits in the number 6 spot. And there again, your leader back into turn 1. Well, Jeff Connor, we'll see if he can hang on to this here tonight. He's getting some company. As we come to the white flag, we've got one to go. Final transfer spot could be up for grab. Jeff Connor in the 36. As your leader, already down the back straightaway. Half a lap lead. Aaron Morant already to the checkered flag here tonight. He will win our first B feature. Kirby's 9 to number 2 spot. You see Tim Carrick finishing up, and here comes that battle. And it will be the 7 car. Ryan Reestead out of West Fargo, North Dakota, transferring on out of our Real Race Wheel B feature number 1 is congratulations, Aaron Morant. Your winner of B feature number 1. B feature and 2 is Sunflower Showdown as we're back racing. Chad Lyle, car number 96, the Lyle style. Out of Oak Grove, Missouri, the Mick Lamb Racing GRT leads him down to turn number 3. Lansdowne out of Lewisburg, Kansas, the number 2 spot as we come for lap 1. Brian Franz now from 4th up to number 3 spot, and he's looking for a more. As a formality, again here tonight, who will not make the dance? And well, we've got the 26 car, Dan Fetters out of Montour, Iowa, taking a tour through the infield as we stay green. The 11 car, Gene Nicholas out of Lowell, Arkansas, that final transfer spot. Dan Fetters trying to track him down in the Keeker Logistics, car 26F. But nobody right now has got anything for your leader, Chad Lyle. Brian Franz now pulls past the 21 of Lansdowne. So Brian Franz now to second. Town back into third. Fourth place, good battle shaping up there now. The 34 car, Mark Schaffman on the inside. Schaffman in the 34 will now pull into 4th. As remember, we will take 7 out of this 10-lap Real Race Wheel B feature number 2. Chad Lyle hits his mark, middle groove, lets the car just float towards the wall, pulls it back down in line. Brian Franz in the number 2 spot, Lansdowne in 3rd. As it has been caution-free here tonight in B feature number 2. Chad Lyle, it just about caught the fence, and that allowed Brian Franz to pull within a car length. We'll see how it looks off at turn 4 as we've come to the white flag. 1 lap remaining. Chad Lyle, Brian Franz, Lansdowne, Schaffman in the 34 car in 4th. As we're on our final lap here tonight, and look at that. Dan Fetters out of Montour, Iowa, getting back on the wheel around Gene Nicholas for that final transfer spot as the checker flag flies, and it's Chad Lyle taking him green, white, checkered. B feature number 2 here tonight. And that final spot will go to Dan Fetters in car 26 out of Montour. The rest of the field making it through. Gene Nicholas will take an exit as that will finish up our B features here this evening.